Alright, hello boys and girls, moms and dads. Welcome to HeroesMart Homeschool Academy. This is 5th grade English, week number 10 and day number 1. Alright, so today is going to be about reading and comprehension and vocabulary building as well, as you would recall. Alright, so the format is going to go this way. So you are going to turn to page number 62 of your workbook. If you've downloaded your workbook or you've purchased your workbook from Amazon, if you search for Godly Learners on Amazon, you are going to see it over there. If you haven't purchased it, well, you are going to see a copy of it coming up in front of you right now on the screen. So please pay careful attention as we read together from week number 10 and day number 1.
A young girl named Naomi had a kind heart. However, she often found herself complaining about the challenges she faced in her life. One day, Naomi went to visit her grandmother who lived in a nearby town. As they walked through the streets, they encountered a group of beggars who were sitting by the side of the road, asking for food and money. Naomi's grandmother approached the beggars with a smile and offered them some food and coins. But as Naomi watched the beggars eat, she noticed that they did not complain about their situation, even though they had very little. This made Naomi realize how much she had been complaining about her life, even though she had so much more than the beggars. She felt ashamed of herself and asked her grandmother how she could learn to be more grateful and less whining. Her grandmother shared with her a story from the Bible about the Israelites who had been freed from slavery in Egypt, but then spent 40 years wandering in the wilderness. During that time, they often complained about their circumstances, despite being provided with daily food and water by God. The story reminded Naomi that even when things seem tough, God is always taking care of us and providing for our needs. She realized that she could choose to focus on the blessings in her life instead of the challenges, and that by doing so, she would become a happier and more grateful person. From that day on, Naomi made a conscious effort to stop complaining and to look for the good in every situation. She started to appreciate the people and things in her life more deeply, and as a result, she felt much happier and more content. The story of Naomi teaches us that complaining only adds to our misery, and that we can choose to focus on the good in our lives instead of the bad. By cultivating a spirit of gratitude and contentment, we can find joy and peace even in the midst of difficult circumstances.
Alright, so I believe you got a chance to read through that particular article and passage with us. It's called The Peace of Gratitude. Alright, so we're going to try right now to understand what we just read by turning over to the questions section. We're going to be turning right now to the comprehension section, which is going to be on page number 63. And the first question here is, according to the passage, what made Naomi miserable? Well, if you're going to remember what made her miserable, we're going to scroll back up to page number 62. But what made her miserable is because she was always complaining. Alright, so she was always whining about things and complaining about things over there, and that made her miserable. She wasn't grateful. Alright, question number 2. What are the similarities between Naomi's attitude and the attitudes of the Israelites in the wilderness? Alright, so you're going to see over there that her grandmother started telling her about how ungrateful the people of the Old Testament were in the wilderness. So God delivered them from the bondage of the Egyptian captivity, and God brought them over to the promised land. Well, granted, they weren't in the promised land immediately. God brought them through the wilderness, but at least nobody was killing their babies anymore. They had their lives to live right now. They had freedom in the wilderness, but because they didn't have all the luxuries that they dreamt of, they kept on complaining and complaining. They didn't think about their blessings. Well, that's exactly what Naomi was in the story. She wasn't thinking about her blessings, and she was looking at her little challenges were getting her frustrated. Well, that's the similarity between Naomi and the people of Israel in the wilderness. All right. What does the author suggest as a solution to Naomi's misery? Well, what the author suggests will help Naomi to be more grateful is to think about the blessings. Choose to focus on the blessings in her life instead of the challenges, and that's going to be in this paragraph over here. Paragraph number 1, 2, 3, 4. Paragraph number 1 talks about how to focus on your blessings, and that's a very critical lesson that everybody, all of us, should learn. When you think about the challenges that you're going through, what's not working in your current circumstances, they're going to get you weighed down. But when you start thinking about what's working, count your blessings. Do you have food to eat? Well, be grateful because of that. Do you have a roof over your head? Be grateful because of that. Even if you don't have a roof over your head, do you have breath to breathe? Are you healthy? Find something to be grateful for, and you will be less grumpy. All right. So question number 4. What does the story teach us? Well, the story teaches us the peace of gratitude. Exactly. That's what it teaches us. So what you're going to do right now is to try to answer these questions using your own words in complete sentences. As a 5th grade student right now who's getting ready to graduate from elementary. All right. Would you do that for me? Moms and dads, please go ahead and help them to do that as well. Now, we're going to go right now to the vocabulary section of this particular lesson today. We're going to be looking at certain words that may come across as new words to you that you hadn't used before or you hadn't heard of before. And the words are over here. Words like beggar, words like wine, words like challenges, conscious, effort, misery, content, gratitude, cultivate, and slavery. Well, let's go ahead and type a few of those words over here. Let's see the word gratitude. Gratitude. You're going to go to your online dictionary, dictionary.com. Type it in gratitude over there. What does it mean? It means the quality or feeling of being grateful or thankful. Now let's hear it sounded for us.
Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude.
Did you hear that? It's called gratitude or gratitude. Well, you can see that a couple of letters are going to be bolded over here, telling you that you are going to emphasize, you are going to put the stress and emphasis on this particular syllable of this word. In the IPA version of it, they are going to show that there's a little apostrophe to the beginning of the first syllable, which is going to be grat. So you're going to say gratitude, okay? And that's the meaning of it. It is a noun. You're welcome to use it in sentences so you do not forget it. He expressed his gratitude to everyone on the staff. All right, let's take another word which we can learn over here, which potentially you may not have heard of before, is the word wine. All right, and maybe you've heard of it before. Let's type it in here. What does it mean to be whining? Wine. All right, so let's take a look at it. It means complaining cry or sound, discontent, peevishness, and all of that. Well, that's what it means. It's the opposite of being grateful. Okay, how does it sound?
Wine or whine. Wine or whine.
Oh, so you can actually sound it with a silent H as well. Whine. Well, but I think I'm going to go with this one over here.
Wine or whine.
Okay. You're welcome to play with it and have some fun with it, moms and dads over there. All right. So we are going to go through that exercise. You're going to do that for me as a homework. Type these words into your online dictionary that you like. Webster's 1820 dictionary if you like that one. Dictionary.com if you like that one. Paper Dictionary. Try to use those words in sentences, and if you use those words in sentences, their meanings are going to stick to you. You are going to build your vocabulary just like that. Alright, so that's what I've got for you today, boys and girls. Remember, God cares about you, and so do we. Bye-bye.
I'll be your hero's buddy, and as you study with HeroesMart, I will be your friend.